Hello, welcome to another episode of Playing Telephone, the first episode of Playing Telephone of 2024, and that's how the year is getting started. I'm Scarlett Sanchez.
I'm Dennis Kluba.
All right, the first day back at work was a little bit rough, but we made it, and we made it here today. And actually, is Dennis joining us today, or is it Travis Kelce?
I did get a new haircut. The thing is, I'm not copying him. I'm just saying that we look similar with our haircut to beard ratio right now.
You're a trendsetter.
A lot of people are getting buzz cuts again these days. So
is it really?
It's coming back.
Is that a thing? When you texted me, he was saying, "Hey, I look like Travis now." I thought you meant Travis Barker, and I was like, "Your idol."
It's kind of two of my
favorite
people that I don't like that I emulated after, which is really sad. But
I just need to get you some drumsticks.
It's okay. We're also behind on posting the last episodes. They will come up, but how was your New Year's? Sorry, our editing team's been a little crazy during the holidays.
Too many espresso martinis?
Something like that.
Or maybe not enough of those. And it was just good. It was good. Went home to St. Louis, spent...
Ranging in with the family.
Yeah.
Like you said you're going to.
Yes,
Good.
yes. That's usually what I typically do.
And we came in, you came in New Year's Day, and we did what everybody does on New Year's Day. We started slow.
Dry January.
Ruined. January 1st, ruined.
Are you going to try to do that? I don't think I ever have.
I think after, this week has been a slow week. It's okay. We're getting back into it. This has been my reprieve. I was happy to do this today.
I honestly feel like you do need a couple of days to ease back into your life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like holidays, I eat way too much. I drink way too much. Yeah. I sit on my butt way too much.
Not productive.
No, not productive. I can feel myself sinking into this couch a little bit more than I usually do.
Nobody's fault. Nobody's going to say anything.
Santa.
What'd you do to me? What'd you do to me? We weren't the only ones, though, that had fun on New Year's Eve this year.
A lot of people had some fun.
Yes, and we're going to get into it. First and foremost, let's talk about literally who you're just comparing me to, our favorite couple of the year, which we named Travis and Taylor, spent together on New Year's Eve, right?
Yes, they spent some time together. We were expecting them to spend the holidays. Mm-hmm. We did predict that she would be at his games. Because remember, he played on Christmas.
Yeah.
He also played on New Year's Eve too. So this was kind of our first time seeing the families intermingle too. Because again, we had talked about that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. When they were coming back, everything that happened was it Chile or Argentina? Argentina, yeah. With all that travesty, they decided not to get together when she came back to the States when the Eras Tour was ending. So then we said the holidays seemed like a great time to fit this in. Mm-hmm. And just as we predicted, not the Christmas game, but during the New Year's game, they all got together, right?
Christmas game, yes.
Oh my goodness. In Kansas City.
In Kansas City.
Both sets of parents?
No. So okay. Donna Kelce obviously had to go show support for her other son. Jason was there. And then his dad, though, Ed Kelce, was there
in Kansas City
for the Christmas game with Taylor and her parents.
Okay.
Scott and Andrea.
I don't know what we know.
And her brother, Austin, who was dressed up as Santa Claus.
At the game.
So if you weren't sure who the man dressed up as Santa, that is Taylor Swift's brother, Austin.
Good. We were good. I think I was watching the game I think it was on Christmas Day, which they lost.
Yeah.
Didn't play well.
But then they won
on New Year's Day.
The New Year's Eve game.
But we were right. They really have shown her less. Mm-hmm. Significantly.
I honestly was like, is Taylor there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm watching all these games now, so.
Real big fan.
I'm a massive Chiefs fan.
Yeah. That was the game where he threw his helmet, right?
Do you think I paid attention to the game activity? I'm watching them.
Christmas Day, they lost. Travis was super frustrated. And did you see this? I think I don't know if we talked about this, but people were saying that he Looks like he's put on a little girlfriend weight.
Rude. What is this, Twitter? Twitter coming for him?
No, like commentators were talking about like...
The commentators?
Not of
the
that
broadcasters?
game. Like sports commentators during the day were saying...
Could you imagine, though, you're playing, like, and Tony Romo's like, oh, Travis. ULBs.
Do you believe in, though, is their relationship weight?
100%.
So you're like...
100%. And it's not to blame your partner, but how many times are we going to eat out and not go to the gym?
Well, remember when we said at the beginning of this relationship, when we were talking about them making it work, we always talk about schedules with these crazy couples that are athletes, musicians, actors, actresses. And they've been flying around a lot. And I'm sure that's eating out, partying. It was the holiday season. Everyone's a little bit fuller. We already talked about it. I just think that that's so funny when it's like with a professional athlete, it's like, okay, they're not overweight.
But also they're wearing something. Because I remember seeing Travis and being like, I feel like in photos he doesn't usually look like that. And then they're wearing, what is that called? That like padding underneath. I'm not a football player.
Like their football pads.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that their whole body was covered, okay?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, anyways. So how can you see if he has a little...
He's a little slower. I don't know.
Oh, okay. It was based on his speed.
A little thicker around the hips. I don't know.
Okay, I get that based on your performance, but that could just be an off day.
It's true. Hey, I'm just saying what people were pointing out.
I was having an off day all day today.
Yeah, we all were. Regardless, they spent Christmas or New Year's Eve and Christmas obviously together. We saw a little smooch at the New Year's Eve party, right?
Yeah.
Was this the one that was? Where was this one at? It wasn't at Travis's.
We don't know the exact location, but they were definitely out, not at his house.
Right.
Because we did say maybe they'll do something at their house or his house.
His new $1 million home.
Not theirs yet. We were thinking that maybe. I feel like that would have been really cool, honestly, because then you can just throw a big bash with all your favorite people.
Right.
But yeah, they were out because a fan actually took the video. You can see her kind of creeping in the little side there and turns it selfie mode. And then you see Taylor and Travis kissing. Now, remember, we saw their first PDA pic a month or two ago.
Right.
Kissing on the cheek, though. But we got those lips involved this time around.
Heard. Yeah, good for them. And then, I don't really. They're definitely together, and we said they were going to make it through to 2024, so they're doing everything that we said.
Yes, their relationship status is very clear at the moment.
Dating.
And I know some had said maybe they'll make it till February, post Super Bowl.
You're betting on it, yeah.
If this is a publicity stunt, but I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
And I'm still seeing
engagement.
Future together. Actually, his managers were talking. They did an interview with the New York Times, and they were talking about
Travis Kelce's
managers. Yeah, he has two of them.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so because he does advertisements, commercials.
Yeah, right.
They got him the gig on SNL to host it. So they were kind of talking about his plan because they kind of take it back to his trip to LA one time. And he's going, obviously there's a bunch of billboards, and usually there's a lot of movie billboards. And I guess The Rock was plastered on a lot of different ones when
At that time.
And he was like, man, I'm never going to be as famous as The Rock. And their managers geared up, and they're like, we'll make a plan, we'll do that.
We'll make a plan to date Taylor Swift, and then you will be.
Yeah, that was the part that kind of confused me, because they were like, Taylor Swift was not a part of this plan. And she's not a part of PR. But she has absolutely skyrocketed him to all different dimensions because his age group was primarily men, or his group of people were primarily men, middle-aged, younger too.
Football fans.
Yeah, exactly. Football fans, which makes sense. And now he's hitting all age groups,
all demographics,
and women, and all demographics because of Taylor Swift. So it is a little bit, I don't know, it just felt a little bit contradicting at some points. But essentially they were just trying to say she was not a part of the plan, but he is on the roadmap to more success. But they do want to pull back some of his commercials because they fear that people might get tired of him since he is in the public eye even more with Taylor Swift. So they want to pull that back a little bit and have him in less commercials.
You know what's really funny about that was I remember somebody saying earlier in the end of 2023 saying, I'm seeing them a little bit too much. And I was like, you know what? It could get annoying. It could make me not like it, and to the point where I'm annoyed. I wonder who that was.
PR hat on.
Me.
Yep, that was.
I called that.
That was Dennis, aka yeah.
But there was at the time you were super pumped on them. We're still super pumped on them. I'm just saying that they were thinking the same thing I was. That hey, it's a lot. It's a lot right now.
Just like everything. Everything has balance. You don't want to oversaturate it and everything. So yeah, they're gonna pull back on it. But then they mentioned maybe game shows, which was like, what?
What?
I love game shows, so I would be a fan, but also random.
Yeah, there's a certain level, but I think for whatever, I mean, I don't know if they'd intertwine, but also like, don't you think you could maybe get some tips, tricks, advice from the like goddess of PR and marketing, your girlfriend, Taylor Swift?
I'm sure.
Of not doing corny stuff to like lower your value. Like Taylor would never do a game show.
No, at this point, no. But she is Dancing with the Stars. What is that?
She didn't do Dancing with the Stars, did she?
She didn't do Dancing with the Stars, but she did do a little video for them, and they had a whole Taylor Swift night, which was kind of, I feel like that's a little bit off base for her.
That's true. I mean, we can't forget, though, he really can't sink any further below catching Kelce. That
was a part of their plan. You had to get exposure somehow.
Yeah, you have to get exposure somehow. It's like the cheesiest, corniest. That show was brutal.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
He's better now. He's like matured.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we all do as years go by.
I mean, he's palatable now. Mm-hmm. Before it was rough.
Yeah. So I think they have a good plan in place. I mean, they got an extra bonus, I'm sure.
I'm sure they did.
They have some very easy marketing and PR going on without them really having to lift a finger.
Organic. As they say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Unpaid marketing. Keep it up. We've got some bets riding on it. But also, he needs to still do his job and win football games.
Yes, he does still need to win. One more thing, though, about that smooching video. Oh. There was, hot. I know you said good for them. There was some speculation all over Twitter that he said, I love you in the video. Mm. Now listen.
Who said it first?
Well, it looks like he said it in the video first.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you waiting to say I love you in a relationship?
You've asked me this, and I said yes.
You don't want to be the first person.
No, I mean, usually they just say it so quickly. I'm like, oh, wait, do I love you? Just kidding. I do. I love you, too. Thank you.
Yeah, that's when you hit them with a thank you first.
Yeah.
As soon as they say I love you, say thank you.
Thank you. But that video that's ridiculous because as his lips are moving, her head covers them.
Taylor does.
Taylor's head. So how would we know what he said?
Unless they had a different angle than their phone was showing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, maybe you could read the cheeks.
Maybe.
Read the outer.
Maybe. I think Twitter got a little bit ahead of themselves on this one.
I see him, man, between those two, though.
I'm sure they said I love you after week 1.
That's what I was going to say. Those two are like, they're love bomb city.
Yeah, which I love. They're going at a good rate. And also with the kissing, there was another photo where a lot of her lipstick, it's not really looking like lipstick
smeared
anymore. And
she's a big red lip girl.
She is a big red lip girl. But also, yes, kissing can take that off, but also
drinking
alcohol or drinking literally anything. Talking.
Eating.
Even if you have the best lipstick, find me a lipstick that actually lasts all day.
Heard that, girl.
It doesn't exist.
We will take...
Link it.
We will take a sponsorship from...
I'm constantly reapplying, and I love lipstick.
This is an ad for...
This is an ad. Send me lipsticks. I will trial them.
I'll try them, too.
I'll wear them all day. Okay, perfect.
That'd be a good video we could do. Dennis trying on the lipsticks that we get. But yes, I completely agree. A lot of speculation right now. I see both of them saying I love you within the first week. So this doesn't seem surprising to me.
Yeah.
But it's more of like, I think the consensus typically is, I feel like guys say I love you first.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I've heard it go.
Both ways, though.
Both ways. Mm-hmm. So I think the question is, when is there ever a time where it's too soon?
Yes.
Okay. The first date? I love you.
A first date's crazy.
Have you seen How I Met Your Mother? Oh my gosh. Ted says it to Robin on their first date.
It's insane. First month.
I mean, you can
Don't think it.
Infatuated with
Yeah. Don't even think it.
There's no way you can love someone on a first date.
Can't love someone in the first month. First month? Think about how many years they've lived. And in 1 month you decided, yep.
What if you spent every single day together?
Why would you do that?
Okay, think about Love is Blind. And it's
like 14 days.
It's 14 days in those pods together.
They're just
and they
delusional.
propose. Yeah.
And the producers are like
marrying someone that you've never seen. Also, not even just about their looks, but I think there needs to be some sort of chemistry, which I think naturally happens person to face.
Oh, Love is Blind.
Love is not blind.
Heard?
Right?
That's what the show usually proves. Yeah.
What, by plenty of divorces?
That love is not blind because, like, I feel like it's way below 50% end up making it, right?
I feel like they honestly have a better success rate than The Bachelor.
Yeah, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
Jury's still out on when to say I love you. Clearly, Scarlett's like, first month could definitely happen. Could be me. I'm like, no. Which should align with our relationship where we see things, I think.
You're like year 2.
If you've listened to the show.
I think I love you. Maybe.
I'm definitely seeing a future.
I think I could see us dating, possibly, potentially. Wait, what has this been?
What month are we on? God.
36.
Our relationship's in its 36th month.
Happy 36th anniversary.
But speaking of two people that said they were going to separate, were probably not saying I love you recently, but then got back together against all odds, of course.
Not back together.
Not back together.
Back together in the same bed.
Cardi B and Offset, New Year's Eve. We literally called this too, which was...
We're on it.
We're like...
2024
I could see them... We were talking about them not being technically divorced. They do this all the time where they yo-yo. What actually happened, though?
Okay, so they both had appearances in Miami. Both had to perform. And naturally, when exes are in the same city...
Come on.
Not necessarily exes, because are they really exes? Were they ever exes? Okay, according to Cardi B, they were broken up. So we'll go with that. Exes met up in Miami after their performances, and they were at a strip club. Money's flying. Literally, in the video, money is flying. And Offset and Cardi B are there, okay?
Dope.
And then afterwards, Cardi B admits they hooked up. She wanted that dick. And I say that because she, quote, said that. You want to read it? It wasn't on Instagram.
What was it on?
I want to say Twitter Spaces again.
She loves that.
It was audio. Sponsored? It was audio.
Was I clubbing with my baby daddy? Yes. Did I get dick down on New Year's Eve? Yes. I needed dick on New Year's Eve. I feel like we were vibing on New Year's Eve. We had a good time. Okay.
She was like, we were on the Henny. She also said that.
But she keeps denying they're back together. She went on a rant against her fans saying, shut the F up. Did I say I was back together with somebody? And threatened to delete her social media.
A few days before New Year's Eve. Because after they broke up, listen. We saw them out again before this. So right after they decided they were going to break up, we saw them together for Christmas, which that makes sense. Even if you are exes, typically they get together to co-parent. And especially after a recent split,
love a co-parent.
We saw the kids opening presents with them. They were cleared together for the Christmas holiday. Then a couple days later, they are in New York shopping, hanging out all day. A fan sees them, takes a photo with both Cardi and Offset. And then that's when fans start to just blow up social media. You guys are back together. Clearly, you guys are still together. And Cardi B loses it because she is mad at her fans specifically because she's like, you guys are the ones who are talking all of this shit about me. Shut the F up. shut the F up. If I didn't say we're together, then we're not. If he didn't say we're together, then we're not. So she was threatening to delete social media, which will never happen because what do we always see every time they get in a fight? She goes straight to Instagram or Twitter Spaces.
Mm-hmm. My question for you is this. Is this somewhat more... I was thinking about this. This seems kind of relatable, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like when you break up with somebody, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship, I don't know. It's one of those things where people could get online and be like, oh my God, you guys are back together. Like you said, you hated him, et cetera, all these different things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she was honest and was like, hey.
It happened.
Like, that's my baby daddy. Like, been together for a long time. It happened. Anybody that's been in a long-term relationship and then goes through a breakup, I feel like most people have a yo-yo like that. And it's like...
Typically, there's some slip-ups.
That's what I'm saying, where it's like, it almost makes, again, it's this weird thing where Cardi kind of annoys me, but then at the same time, she's kind of relatable. Mm-hmm. And she's just like so loud and honest. That can be maybe the annoying part. But usually what's happening is like...
But then the loudness and the honesty is what also draws you.
Exactly. It's like a double-edged... Like,
yeah. I honestly wasn't surprised by it, but that's... I wasn't surprised by her social media ranting, honestly. Either. But I think the only reason I wasn't surprised, though, is because I'm not buying this breakup. And I know we talk about... do this. Yeah, and I know we talk about PR stunts. I mean, one, yes, they're on and off typically. Remember we talked about in 2020, they almost, whatever. Infidelity as well, allegations there. And then they just broke up over the summer, and they dropped jealousy. So in PR terms, maybe they're going to drop new music. Maybe Cardi's going to drop new music. Or also, there was some chatter. Nicki Minaj just dropped her new album.
Right.
It's doing decently well.
It's doing very well.
Very well. And
it's good.
What do? Cardi's going to pull some attention to her, get Nicki off of everybody's hot topic, and make the attention go back to her.
You have to. They do go against each other all the time. They're pitted against each other.
Yeah. Which annoys me. I was like, can't there be just two successful? I mean, with
two successful women, Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Not allowed.
Nope. Can't have two of them.
The patriarchy.
Can't have two of them. Come on, ladies.
We'll come back to this later. But again, this is kind of a theme for today, which is stars or celebrities really getting, I don't know if it's upset, but really sharing their opinion with the haters. We've talked about this before. When you face criticism, there's responses that you can have. You can say nothing. You can do an apology video. You can get in the DMs. You can get in the Twitter spaces and start hurling, like speaking your truth and saying stuff like that. I just think it's like hey, people are going to talk. I think you just
let them
sit back. Cardi was obviously not, she's never going to sit back and just take the hate. She's going to speak her honesty. But what's your opinion? Have you ever felt the need to do you think it's a bad look to be like, shut the F up, or like to respond to haters in the comments? We talked about this with Selena Gomez a couple weeks ago.
Are you talking personally? Because I don't know.
I'm just saying, if you were a celebrity, would you get in a fight on social media, in the comments, on the Twitter spaces? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. With what Cardi's doing, it's so much. But I mean, if it comes to a point where there's online bullying and stuff like that, maybe I'd put out a statement. I don't know. I just feel like delete your Instagram then.
I feel like you're giving attention to it.
Yeah.
By you're giving energy to it by responding, by it's retaliation too.
Because think about when Beyonce was getting all those
Did she say anything?
She didn't say a thing.
No.
And her mom did. And she was probably mad at her mom. Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, mom.
It's them that are talking. It's not me. They're not mad. It's just one of those things where it's
you kind of give more not validity, but more
attention to it. You give more energy to it. It's hey, all they want is for you to see them and say something. Mm-hmm. So just don't.
It's not necessary.
No. But that's the thing where it's Cardi and I have this love-hate relationship of what I'm saying.
Offset.
Yeah. Me, Offset, and Cardi B, love triangle, where she's being honest and speaking her truth, but at the same time, I kind of don't agree with what she's saying sometimes. I'm like,
but I think that's what you said. It's because she's relatable.
Exactly. She's relatable, but it's okay,
also,
don't talk.
She?
No.
Is she with that?
That's what I'm saying.
But she isn't no regular schmegular.
And that's for sure.
And if she was cheating Offset, you'd know it. She's too famous.
That's true. That's true.
According to Cardi, which she is.
Whew. But staying in the rap world, staying in the relationship world as well.
In the exes world.
Ooh. Travis Scott, who's kind of...
Where's he been?
No, but he's been around.
He has.
The thing is, I was the same way as you. I was like, what has even happened to him? But then I started re-listening to like Utopia, and he's obviously been on like new songs with Drake, like different things like that. He's still good. And he recently released, him and Playboy Cardi released a song only on YouTube in which he disses his ex, Kylie Jenner, who's now obviously with somebody else, and Travis is not, that we know of, dating somebody right now.
Yeah, there was rumors that he was, but...
I don't think confirmed.
Nothing fully confirmed.
Heard. But regardless...
What's the song?
It's called Backrooms. 2 zeros. It's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. But these are the lyrics that he specifically said. Okay. She doing Ozempic, trying to be different, trying to be a new woman. That shit look iffy, need her thick, needed her to move something like it proved something. Just don't you remove nothing. It's pretty good by me. That was good.
Yeah.
I sounded just like him. But that was clearly directed towards Kylie. And you mentioned, too, that recently when she was accepting her award with the Wall Street Journal...
Did I say this when we talked about this?
We talked about the Wall Street Journal literally, I think, I don't know if it was last week or it was in the recap video.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
About her receiving that and her looking super thin.
I thought she looked extremely thin. I mean, yes, she's already a thin woman.
Yeah.
Just to the point.
She just looked different.
Yeah. It just looked a lot skinnier than usual.
We've talked about it before,
and quickly, because like if you look back at a photo from just the month before, it just seemed like a big difference in my opinion.
We've talked about this before, though. I think with the Kardashians specifically, Kim, Kourtney potentially. Was it that she was looking skinnier, like overall, like in the stomach, waist area? Or was it like she had removed filler potentially? Because haven't we talked about that with Kim? Or I'm talking about Kylie.
Okay.
With Kim and Khloe potentially, where they removed some BBLs or something like that?
BBLs, yes, we did talk about that.
But I'm saying, was Kylie looking thinner overall, or did she...
Her booty was still looking thick.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like, if we were talking Ozempic, if we were talking...
Which I don't think with Ozempic you can get rid of your BBL.
Your BBL.
That's going to stay there. Which is why
I know that.
Also Khloe, big butt too. I mean, yeah. I think the Kardashians kind of started the Ozempic trend secretly because they all weirdly dropped a ton of weight all at the same time.
Like what, 5 years ago?
Yeah. And then now this huge trend that everyone's doing Ozempic. And yes, if you need to do Ozempic, that's fine.
For your actual health.
But for your actual health, not just to become like the tiniest stick. Because I just can't imagine that being healthy.
It's an appetite suppressor, basically, right?
Yeah, it's a shot that you put in your body.
Oh, really? I thought it was a pill.
No, it's a shot.
Dang, that's like steroids.
And it almost like makes you feel kind of nauseous if you eat too much.
Oh, nice. Fun. So how I felt all day.
For other reasons. But Oprah recently talked about it too. Remember that she was using weight loss supplements. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all fine with me. I think that's great. If there's something, like, a goal that you want to reach with your physical looks, I support that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the overuse maybe. And also, I feel like we've talked about this with plastic surgery stuff. Like, just be open about what you do.
Yeah. There's no right or wrong. It's your body. It's your body.
But yeah, Travis was clearly calling her out for it. What do we think? Do you think he's a little pissed at the fact that she's with Timothy?
I think it's, I don't know if it's pissed necessarily, but it's more like, it kind of gives me not as bad, but like Kanye, Kim vibes of like, I'm kind of butthurt that you moved on.
Skeet?
Like, I'm mad that you moved on and
Skeet. Remember when he...
No, well, not necessarily
when Kanye made a video of Skeet
that was wild,
burying him into the ground in a music video. Yeah, like one line will take it.
Not to that level, but you know what I'm saying? Like, where he's a little bit upset that she's moved on.
Yeah.
And it's in the public eye, and it's like, oh,
Okay, these are more diss tracks. Yes, we can call them that.
Yeah.
But kind of what's the difference between Taylor Swift writing a breakup song versus, I guess Travis is more of a diss.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Taylor's more talking about her heartbreak. Okay, I just wanted to...
No, you're right. But at the same time, yeah, there's disses where I don't think he's necessarily going after Kylie's character.
Yeah.
It's physical.
Ugh, what's worse?
What's worse? Versus Taylor's typically going after the guy's character, I feel like.
Oh, okay, which one is worse?
Ugh.
I feel like the physical is a first initial sting that really hurts. Because it's just like, oh my gosh, that's really mean. But then I think overall, a more long-lasting thing would be character.
Yeah, I just feel like it's typical for just
I care more about the person that I am than what I look like.
Men to be, I'm saying like in music industry, men to be rude about physical.
Yeah.
And then female artists being more like, oh, you're a bad person. Mm-hmm. That's just, I feel like the stereotype. Mm-hmm. But I think just based off longstanding tradition, men could just manipulate that to be like, oh, she's still obsessed with me.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, she's being, or she's like
talking about how bad I was.
Oh, it's because she's obsessed.
Mm-hmm. She still loves me, probably.
But I mean, Kylie could do the same thing.
With what?
With Travis, and be like, you're still talking about me? Literally, we haven't dated in 2 years. Like, embarrassing.
That is true.
That would be funny.
But again, will she say something?
No, because she's above that. They're getting ready to take it off YouTube.
Oh, they're going to pull it? Will Kris Jenner pull it?
Yeah, she'll be like, not allowed. But they're also smart enough to realize that all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about them. Kylie's happy with Timothy.
Yeah.
Did we ever see a rekindling of her and Travis?
I don't know.
I honestly could see it.
My thing that's weird to me, I don't know. I remember I said they were my surprise couple of 2023 that I enjoyed. I liked.
Her and Timothy?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is Travis and Timothy feel very different, but it'd be weird to go to that and then to come back.
Yeah.
But they also had the two kids together, Stormi and Air, so there will always be love there. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Kylie seems a little bit more stick to her guns, maybe than Khloe.
Than Khloe. I mean, especially when we saw some of those episodes where Kylie really was saying, why would you go back? But Travis and her have broken up and gotten back together too.
True.
But I think that this might have been cheating too. So I think Kylie has a very clear
strong stance.
Strong stance when it comes to cheating.
And I would also like to say, not so much Kim as well, but Kourtney also with Scott.
A lot of back and forth. Man, I would want to know the percentage of people who have gotten back together with an ex.
It's a good poll. If you know the answer,
link it to the bio.
Link in the bio.
Because I think it's
what
different.
do you mean got back to, like, is there a full get back?
So
or
I
is
think,
it like a hookup? Like a Cardi Offset?
Right. There's two different levels. A full get back together. Like, we have broken up, been separated, and then we have decided we're going to give this relationship another go and be official again. Oof. The officialness. Right? Or
smaller percentage, for sure.
Smaller percentage than just having slip-ups.
Yeah.
I think some people are very hard.
Having slip-ups is like 70% of the human population.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
For sure.
So you've had a slip-up?
Yeah. Obviously.
Versus
getting full-on back together and like publicly declaring that, rare. 15 to 20%.
But I wonder if there's an embarrassment too, though, with that, because kind of what Cardi's saying.
There is.
Why are you saying all this? But a lot of people say you broke up for a reason. Why are you going back?
Well, that's what Kylie would say to Khloe.
Exactly. And then Khloe didn't learn because then it happened again.
And again.
Which typically what happens. People show their shoe colors. People show their true colors early on, I would say.
That's why you say I love you in the first month.
That's why I want to say I love you when I marry you the first week of knowing you. No, I mean, unless they're mass manipulators, I think you can kind of like...
Love.
can get no, I'm not saying love. I'm saying when you get to know the person, you can kind of have an idea of like what you can see yourself liking or kind of disliking down the line. Essentially what I'm saying, if he's not taking out the trash now, he's not going to be taking out the trash 20 years from now.
People don't change that much.
Yes.
Especially your core traits about you.
If he's messy, he might most likely will stay messy forever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm being a little bit extreme.
You're being harsh a little bit, but it's pretty true.
Yeah, I would say so.
If they've cheated on you a lot, they will cheat.
Yes,
they will continue to cheat.
That's a little bit better because I think people can get cleaner.
Yeah. People can get organized. Yeah.
That's one of your 2024 goals.
One of my 2024 goals, get more organized.
Oh, man. Okay.
You almost walked yourself into a hole there. People don't change.
I know.
Oh.
Well, I always think about that Bridesmaids quote that my mom and I laugh about because it's like, do people change or do they grow? Well, if you're changing, you're always growing. But if you're growing, aren't you also changing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Chicken and the egg. Yeah. I don't know. Regardless, I don't see them getting back together. I don't see Kylie responding to this at all.
Wow.
And I see it just looking like Travis wants Kylie. It's sad that Kylie's moved on and he's trying to put a little jab.
Maybe a little jab, or it's just good content.
And if he was really smart, he'd take a jab at he would just be like, hey, like, you're dating Willy Wonka.
He did do that.
When did he say that?
He did do that.
When did he say that? Have fun with Willy Wonka. Hit the chocolate factory.
Exact quote, but he dissed Timothy and called him Willy Wonka in one of his songs.
That's hilarious. Somebody send me that song.
Oh my gosh! I thought, yeah.
That's
no,
great.
He did. I'll have to find the Travis Scott, Willy Wonka,
Diss.
Timothy diss. I know. I'm blanking on what the name was called. Meltdown.
Oh, it's in Meltdown?
July.
That's crazy. I need to like listen better to those. That's hilarious.
Chocolate got the Willy Wonka factory. Burn an athlete like calories. Find another flame. Bitch, please. And people were pissed because he essentially called Kylie a bitch there. Ooh.
That's your baby mama.
That's your... Treat her with some respect.
Put some respect on my name. Okay. Speaking of relationships, infidelity, and then responding to haters, Kaitlyn Bristowe, which we've talked about her before, obviously, on this podcast. My question is I don't really know where I stand with her. Where do you stand with her?
I actually do really like her.
You like her, okay.
Yeah, I watched her season. I don't watch every season of The Bachelor, full transparency here. I don't watch every season. I'll watch a couple, and if I'm just not feeling it, I'm out. Kaitlyn's, I did watch her season, and I liked her.
I saw a guy from The Bachelor today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was at Flake with me.
Oh,
Flaked.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, Flake. Yeah. In Venice. No,
Did you ask if you can go on Bachelor in Paradise?
He was like, hey.
Hey.
I was like, do I know you? No, I'm just kidding. But Kaitlyn, like we do like Kaitlyn, but we also said we like Jason too, right?
I like him too.
They were together for 4 years. They were engaged, I think.
Engaged, yeah.
And then they broke it off recently in 2023.
Yeah,
I think like
August.
summer. Yeah, exactly, summer, which was pretty unexpected considering that they were one of the staples in Bachelor Nation.
Right.
They didn't really ever say why, just mutual. It was a mutual breakup. They both posted on their stories.
Yeah, mutual breakup. Said it was a very hard decision, but they're going to co-parent, but not their children. Their dogs. So they're two dogs. They're currently co-parenting, and they decided to break up.
Regardless, she had a little New Year's Eve party. I don't know if did she host it?
She hosted it.
She hosted it in Nashville. A couple of other Bachelor Nation invitees were there. Including Blake. I don't think he was actually from her season. And then also Zach Clark, who was from Taja's season. Important. They were there. A video surfaced that was taken by someone at this party.
Thanks a lot.
Her with her arm around Zach during New Year's Eve party, just doing a little bit of...
Not only during the New Year's Eve party.
During the countdown.
Which, we're talking about the New Year's Eve kiss. What usually happens at the end of the countdown? The big old smooch.
You know.
And if her arms wrapped around him, did they kiss? when they went, Happy New Year.
Did they?
We don't know. The video didn't complete. Because the other person just set down their phone and kissed the person next to them.
Probably. Probably.
Be in the moment. No, just kidding. Anyways, proceed.
Does it matter? Basically, the reason that I say this is...
Oh, it doesn't matter?
This is my thing. No.
It's a huge thing if they kissed or not.
I'm getting there. The reason it matters for Zach Clark is because him and Tasia won their season, right?
Yeah, they got engaged.
Got engaged, won their season, then split as well.
Yes.
The thing that's also interesting about Kaitlyn and Tasia's relationship is that they co-hosted seasons after that together. Mm-hmm. So it only makes sense that they most likely were somewhat close.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're the best of friends, but she definitely would have known when Tasia and Zach were engaged and dating and all those things.
Right.
So then if they did end up kissing at the New Year's Eve party, it would feel a little bit like against girl code to smooch your former co-host, potentially your friend's ex, fiance.
Yeah.
There's
that layer for sure. Yeah, because you never really want. I mean, that's just rude. It's beyond rude. If one of my girlfriends hooked up with somebody that I was with, especially engaged to,
hooked up with
a bachelor engagement, hooked up with what?
Hooked up with
the definition
different than New Year's Eve kiss. Now, what happens after the New Year's Eve kiss? We won't know. But I'm saying a New Year's Eve kiss is
does that mean nothing?
A little bit.
Nothing to you?
I don't say it's nothing, but there's different levels to that. Of there's a peck, there's a smooch.
Yeah, but you're not pecking my ex-fiance if we're friends. It was just a peck. Happy New Year. Not on my watch. Well, I wasn't there, but...
Put it on a shirt. You're not pecking my ex-fiance on New Year's if you're my friend. All right, go on. What was the other layer that you were talking about?
The other layer, too, is cheating. Now,
that's what people are saying.
Yeah, because now, remember, like Dennis just mentioned, Jason and her broke up in August.
Right.
Now, her and Jason have also recently unfollowed each other on Instagram. And I know social media and following, maybe not big of a deal in your eyes. But in this day and age, it really seems like it is. We saw that with Cardi and Offset as well.
Yep.
So they unfollowed each other recently. And then some, what are those called? Little spies. Social media people were looking and started noticing that certain liking of the pictures started happening more frequently between Kaitlyn and Zach. July.
Oh.
So does that mean they become friendlier? Maybe more than friendlier? Okay. Everybody started fueling the flames and saying... Speculation that she cheated on
Jason. And that's the reason that...
potentially what catapulted their breakup.
That would be a juicy.
That would be. Not only are you going behind your friend's back, you're cheating on...
Jason.
Your fiance. Jason.
What's your feeling?
The video was cozy.
Oh, that's such a great sense. What's your take? The video was cozy.
The video was cozy. Taylor Swift and Travis's was cozier. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the video got a little cut short. I think maybe we could have seen that kiss. I think, like you were saying, if she really is good friends with Tayshia, wrong altogether. But she's not doing anything wrong. She is broken up. She is single currently at the moment. Could there have been some overlap? Thing is, Kaitlyn is a little bit of a firecracker.
She is.
That doesn't mean you cheat. I don't know. I'm not seeing cheating here. I don't think she did.
I don't think she cheated, number one. The other thing is that I don't think that any of their relationships in Bachelor Nation are even that deep to be upset about anything. So I think that this is all just...
fair game.
Fair game. Everyone's fair game because you know what? None of them are friends.
And honestly, you do see this so much where, oh, that guy dated her, and her of Bachelor Nation. Oh, and her too. And whatever, vice versa.
It's so shallow. Like, it's so not deep.
I mean, yeah, that engagement is a little bit different versus, like I said, if you're pecking my ex-fiance would be a little bit different than Tayshia's. But they were very serious. I think some of them break up like a month after. But still, it's still an ex. I still don't think it's right.
True, but we've said this before, it's a Bachelor ex.
They're still
what is that
real
worth?
People. I think some of them do fall.
Some of them. I don't know about all. Regardless, Tayshia's already with somebody new. One of our favorites, Luke from Summer House.
Love him.
So, I mean...
Which, honestly, I didn't know that. I've been trying to stay away from some Summer House because I haven't watched the most recent season or two.
Carl's boring now.
Carl's boring now? Why?
I don't know.
Don't tell me all the details because I obviously know everything about him and Lindsay, but I didn't see it all play out, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Right.
Ooh, sorry. Looking forward to your guys'
Demise.
But
Here's the only place. I think that it's super innocent. Not innocent, but I think it's smooches on New Year's Eve, even if it led to a hookup. It's Bachelor. Let's have some fun. Whatever. Doesn't matter. My thing comes again is... Well. Okay, Bachelor, like I'm saying, my whole thing, the only reason that it makes it okay is because it's Bachelor, and I don't think any of it's real. That's the only reason.
What are you going to do about those?
Also not real.
Okay.
Also not real.
Too hot to handle?
Not real.
Okay.
You're getting less real by the show. The thing that she did, though, is that she responded to these claims.
Clap back at the haters.
So embarrassing. I'm going to read it out. This is typed out on Instagram stories.
And it's long.
You would think by now I'd be used to the hate. I'm not. Your words hurt. Your shaming hurts. Part of me feels a little sad and honestly embarrassed for you guys because this shouldn't be how you spend a day one of a new year. Ugh. You should not be this invested in someone you don't even know or respect. It's actually scary. And I know looking inward might be even scarier for you. But the bullying is next level. You're allowed to have opinions and feelings, but you don't even know the truth, and your hate should actually come with consequences. I truly worry about some of your mental health. It's not okay. It's not. Please feel ashamed of yourselves for treating someone this way who you don't know. I did not kill someone. I have a party with some of my favorite people.
Thank God.
Shame on you, not me. I am not one-dimensional. What you see on people's social media does not mean you know them, and this part might sting, but I would never, ever want to switch places with you. Your life seems so sad, so I will not take the opinions of someone who I would not trade places with.
Ooh, which comment did she read to say?
I don't know.
Say the end part.
I don't know.
Because the end part you could tell she's like speed typing, and as she just kept going and going, she's getting angrier.
Increasingly meaner. Increasingly angrier.
I don't care about you.
I would never
want to be you.
Shame on you. I think... I think that I was like, I agree. You shouldn't care that much about someone who you don't like. There were things that I agreed with in the speech. Mm-hmm. To be that invested in somebody's life. The things that got me a little bit riled up against her were the things at the end where I was like, I think there's a difference between defending yourself, but then kind of like adding to the fire.
Which part did she add to the fire?
All the shame on you.
Yeah.
You're like, this part might sting, but I would never, ever, ever trade places with you. It's like, obviously.
Yeah. And I think those are the parts that give them the validation that they wanted.
Yeah.
I made you mad. Shame on me, and I like it.
Yeah. Good. Good.
But I do agree towards the end, she did say what you see on people's social media does not mean you know them.
No.
That part I do agree with. It's true.
Completely true. I could not. It makes me,
I'm surprised she responded to this. Who cares?
Yeah.
We would have not talked about this at all, honestly, if she didn't respond.
This literally would have been my story response. Tongue out emoji face.
Who'd I make out with?
Who cares?
And also being in this limelight and in that world, I don't know why she would even... She does typically kind of defend herself, which is fine, but this one, unnecessary. And if you're smooching on Zach, go for it. Although I do like Jason a lot.
I like Jason. I like Luke. I take back a little bit of what I said earlier.
What?
Just with it being someone else's ex-fiance and with them being hosts, they probably were at least decently friends. That's a little bit sketchy. But other than that, you shouldn't look too much into your New Year's Eve kiss.
Okay. No pressure.
If you're dating somebody in December, you're dating somebody in January. If you're like looking for a New Year's Eve kiss, it's probably like not meaning that much to the overall story.
Right.
You're putting too much importance on that day or date.
Just like yeah, I was just going to say.
It's a regular night out for the most part.
Thank you. That's the thing with me, with New Year's Eve.
It's a make out on the dance floor. Will you see them again?
Whether it was January 18th or December 31st.
Doesn't matter. And why are we never... Did anybody put any shame on Zach's name?
No.
Is anybody like, oh, do you think Jason's upset? Yeah, no, they were all mad at Kaitlyn.
People were. He posted a little cropped picture of himself.
Zach did?
No, Jason did. Cropped a little photo and said Happy New Year with a heart. And somebody commented just saying, like, we got to give this guy a break. It's been a tough one for him. And what did he say back? He said Happy New Year with the heart. And then somebody commented, let's just pretend 2024 starts tomorrow. Kid deserves a fresh start to the new year. And he said, I support this, ha. And people thought that was like shade to Kaitlyn. I'm not seeing the shade, but he needs a fresh start, just like we all do.
We all need one. I think that wraps it up for this week, though, right?
That does. Oh. Thanks for listening.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Did we even say that in the beginning?
New Year, same us. Make out on the dance floor.
Tonight, tomorrow, every night.
Every night.
That's my New Year's resolution.
And more jets.
Jets.
I didn't want to call you out for not hitting it.
A disappointment. I'll do it this year.
Okay. I'll hold you to that.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. At Playing Telephone on Instagram, TikTok, and full episodes are also on YouTube. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.